Security Halt Podcast. Simple podcast for dudes, by dudes, but not for by dudes, just especially veterans. Security Halt, you take a knee, face out, sit down for a little bit, and chill out. Listen to us, Cab, Paul, and Greg, say some really stupid shit that'll make you laugh and smile. Security Halt. It's what you doctor ordered, or gynecologist, or perhaps the doctor that looks at your beehole.
There's only one rule. It's mimosas by 11. There's only one rule. Mimosas by 11.
That's the single greatest thing you've ever said. And I would even say it's the brave.
Like, this is probably going to be some horseshit propaganda for China. And the news is like, hey, for some reason people think this is horseshit propaganda for China.
Valid point, Paul, but where else are people going to get riveting content and a consistent list of kill, marry, and fuck? I mean, no one's doing it, and someone has to provide it for the people. And that someone is us, Security Halt Podcast.
As we call the adult industry, the pullout.
And Craig joined us at the perfect moment.
Yeah.
What
we
is
don't
up, gentlemen?
This show.
I have greatly missed all of you.
Yes, sir.
Paul, you have been absent, and I'm so happy to have you on.
Oh, dude, life's been balls crazy.
Regale us with stories of your conquests.
Oh, well, my goal in life is to paint 5 minis a weekend because I'm a nerd, and anything that interrupts it makes me angry. Dude, it was like a weekend of fighting with the wife last weekend. Now we're trying to take care, and she just had a massive dude. So she had her back probably 10 years ago. Her lower back. Had a bunch of calcium cut out, had her lower back fused. So then she asked my wife maybe 8 weeks ago, hey, can you guys, I'm going to have a little surgery. Can I come stay with you guys? And Hannah was like, hey, your mom asked me this. I was like, oh yeah, I would have told her no. And she's like, well, no, you wouldn't have. It's your mom. I'm like, yeah, I'd say no, hands down. Like, she's like, well, they don't want you to watch her. They want me to watch
heartbeat
her.
For me.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I would have said hands down no for you too. Like, it's ridiculous. So they told her, hey, it'll be like 2-3 days. Just making sure she doesn't have any problems. Shouldn't be a problem. The surgery's going to last a day. So we're kind of like, what is this surgery? They're like, oh, they're working on her back a little bit. So they took out all the last sections fusing from like 10 years ago. Cut all that, pulled all that hardware out, removed everything, and then fused everything from the bottom of the upper spine all the way down.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so she was in there for like 4 days.
So you're telling me right now that your mom's RoboCop?
Yeah, basically, yeah, with the drug addiction. It makes him all right. Come on.
We have the technology.
So Hannah's been doing Hannah's been busy. She started working at home healthcare, so she's like, oh, I can do this. This will be easy. And dude, man, my mom's hurting, which makes sense. She's always hurting. I guess she's got a bone on bone hip with a pinched sciatic nerve and all this craziness too, and then she's got a shoulder that needs work. So she came with a myriad of painkillers, and literally, no joke, a giant bottle. It might as well have been a Flintstone Kids bottle, but it just did a pickle jar full of pills.
Holy
nothing
shit.
In bags, and she'll just give me one of the red ones, give me one of the blue ones, and I'm like, I don't know about this. This is weird. So
we fucking party.
Yeah. We've had her since Thursday, and Hannah sorted all the pills out, looked them all up, read what they were. Okay, you can't take this with this. You can only have this many of this. You can only have many of this, many of this, and stay up till 1 a.m. Friday doing all that. The meantime, my mom's like, hey, I need more pills, and Hannah's like, no, you can't have any more of these. So Hannah went to go do something, and she looked at me and she's like, you just shut up. And then she took a handful and just started eating them. And I was like, okay. Cool, whatever. And then Hannah's like, what are you doing? And she looked at she's like, it's fine. Paul didn't say anything. And I'm like, wow.
Your mom sounds like she'd be amazing at a party.
Not at all. Oh man, it has been. It has been a trip.
I would peg her as being more fun at like a corporate retreat. You know, just literally like the CEO fucking lays a line out and just looks at you and says, "Don't say shit." He just rails the fucking line as the head of HR walks in. Hey, Sally. Yeah.
I don't know how she's been a nurse for the last 10 years.
Oh, Jesus Christ, even better.
She had like 3 massive strokes like 5 years ago.
Why do you think there's no pill bottles?
Yeah. So like 5 years ago, she had some massive strokes. And I remember her telling me like she got fired recently because she couldn't pass the mental exam or whatever.
You don't say. You don't say.
And she basically was telling me
she's going
years
into
ago,
the patients that she's taking care of. She's like, 2 for me, 1 for you.
No, like that's the thing. So she told me forever ago she has a system. If she's going to give somebody meds, she just grabs the wrong thing that she knows isn't for them, and then she'll remember what they're supposed to get. So like I'm just remembering all these things now. Like, oh shit, like this lady's got issues, man. And maybe she just needs to. I'm trying to be a good son. Maybe she just really needs to medicate like that. But I'm like, this doesn't seem good or normal or well. And even she usually boozes up a bunch when she gets here, and she hasn't yet. And she's on a lot of medication, like a lot of pain medication. And the heaviest thing she has like OxyContin and some pain relievers I don't know the names of. Or I mean, muscle relaxers I don't know the names of. So she keeps asking for shit she doesn't have. And then she'll be like, just look in the one with the blue lid. Just give me one of those. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I can't do that. So yesterday she sat and she was quote unquote vocalizing pain. She sat with me while I was painting. I stayed home with her, trying to make sure she's not in the house alone. So she's just going, like for hours, man.
Oh my God.
And every now and then she'd be like, every now and then she'd be like, is it time yet? I'm like, no, you've got like 3 hours. And she's like, motherfucker. And I'm like, oh my God. And then she starts telling me all this like family dark history stuff about like dark past stuff with my dad and really weird fetish shit. Like, I don't want to know this. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and I don't know if it's made up. I don't know if it's like what. It's like
back in '93, your dad and I created this company called Bad Dragon.
Oh, that would have been fine. Instead,
let me tell you something, Paul. Nothing gets me hotter than a damn dragon dick.
No, instead it's like, oh yeah, since we've been married, your dad's been collecting different ladies' underwear, like any lady he finds, like on the side of the house, like whatever, like go to a friend's house, and I'm like, huh? And she's like, yeah, as a young married woman, what do I do with that? It's normal. And I'm like, no, it's not normal. So why can't I have friends? Because he'll just steal their underwear. And I'm like, what? You want some more pills? You can have more fucking pills.
All right. Now I have a visualization of Paul's father in an old timey gentleman's suit, just going up to random doors. Excuse me, ladies. My name is Mr. Paul E. Strobel. I'm looking for panties, any kind, you see. Not too big, not too small, man. The absolute.
I'm at a loss.
The worse, the better. And so it's been a trip. So Hannah came home. She was gone yesterday, and she came home. And I was like, get me out of the fucking house. And she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm not going to fucking tell you, but I'm going to leave. I'm going to the car. I'm going to drive to South Bend. I'm just going to sit in the parking lot. I'm going to cry for a while. And don't call me. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to anybody. Just everybody leave me the fuck. And then that was at like 5 o'clock. I went out, sat in this shitty restaurant, ate a shitty steak, drove home by 6, and then basically slept till 8 o'clock this morning. There were just layers and layers of shit that I was like, there's no reason for me. And then again, it's just every couple hours you hear, pills. Like, yeah.
You know, sometimes I think to myself, man, at least I only got diddled.
I'm like, I think it's probably on the list. It's like, I think that's the weird, like, I think you hear some weird shit that it kind of opens a realm of possibilities. Like, what have I grown up with that I have no idea about? Like, this is horrifying.
Don't worry, Paul.
How much of my underwear has my dad taken from me?
Dude, you start thinking shit like that, then you're like, I got kids? Like, and then you start, dude, I'm telling you, my head is fucked right now. Like,
come in here.
Like, do you just make somebody go away? Like, what do you do? The best response is she's like, "Well, he's not doing anything illegal." I'm like, "Actually, yeah, it's all illegal. Like, theft is illegal."
Stealing random women's underwear is never a good idea.
No.
Oh man, a lot of stuff to unpack. But I mean,
And the best
Hey.
part is, so she's been here since Thursday, and she's like, "I'm just glad I'm getting better and I can go home soon." And this is like day 4, and I'm like, "How long do they say it take?" And she's like, "I've been here 2-3 weeks already." And I'm like, "No, you haven't." She's like, "Yeah, your
You
dad came
have
over for
time
dinner last
traveling
night."
pills.
Yeah.
Give me those.
Yeah.
fucking mama is in space, dog.
Yeah, dude. And all she wants him to do is give him Valium. And every time she calls the doctor, it's the weekend. She's like, "I just need Valium." And they're like, "Yeah, this is an emergency, Lee. We'll get a hold of your money." He's like, "I need my prescription filled now." And I'm like, "These people are dicks. Like, why are they doing this?" And Hannah's like, your mom's an addict. Like, she does this a lot, apparently. I'm like, "No, they're just being mean to her." And she's like, "No, there's probably a history here you have no idea about."
I have a friend who at first I was like, man, he's really accident prone. But there's no way somebody breaks their back and like a month later just randomly drops like a bunch of 45-pound plates on his foot just to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That kind
Is
of
the surgery
self-sacrifice.
needed? No, it's not needed. It's elective. I'll take it.
Just
I'll
help me
take
get
2,
through the
please.
pain. If I don't have pain,
And good thing is we have an actual well versed doc with us, Joe.
so
Before we start there, Paul, I just want to welcome you to the club of there's really some fucked up shit with our moms.
Yeah, mine too.
I am happy. I'm happy you're here now.
Yeah. Welcome to the club. Everybody's always there to beat down on dad, and don't get me wrong, fathers did their fair share of things, but moms,
there's
boy,
some-
they can do some damage.
Fucked up moms out there. Yeah.
Here's to you, mom.
and there's some weird shit. Like, I don't want to be. I mean, she's in pain. Like, I'm totally making fun of that. I legit am. But like, it sucks to say no when your loved one's in pain. But at the same time, you're like, I don't think this is like normal.
Oh no. You are very well in tune with the fact that mama has a problem.
So Hannah volunteered to watch her and help her.
Can you
And
record
because
the intervention?
And so Hannah won't give her the drugs she wants. So she called all of Hannah's family and like basically told them how terrible she is and how she's denying her anything and she needs drugs. And yeah, and then she was like, came up to me. She's like, I just told all Hannah, and I'm like, yeah, that was stupid. Like, she's volunteering to do this for you. And she's like, you're right. I can't believe it. Help me get on Facebook. I need to tell everybody that I'd kill myself if it wasn't for Hannah. And I'm like, what?
What the?
I can't.
Well, that escalated.
I can't really handle this, Mom. Like, yeah, and it's not. If there's no level, it's like it's like a teeter totter from hell, man. It's just back and forth. Really calm, really crazy. Really calm, really crazy. Really calm, really crazy. And I told Hannah, like, this is why I would have said no. Just so you know, like, I'm not a dick. This is exactly why I would have said no.
You see, there's a method to my madness.
Yeah, I am protecting us by letting other people suffer.
Oh man. Well, I don't have anything quite as shocking that has been going on in my life the last couple of weeks. Yeah, that takes the cake. Just working on the podcast, and I am getting us a new audio interface device for live in the studio recordings.
Nice.
And, it should be arriving here in a couple of days. It'll be nice, a new addition. I can finally go down to Martin Luther King Boulevard and pick up some homeless people to, interview in my house with no repercussions or bad side effects.
Never.
And I hear they're full of super valuable organs as well. Just saying.
I have wrote many papers on that, and I do concur.
It's gonna be quite a hoot. Maybe I'll take him around the house, show him where all my valuables are at first, and then
So you
sit
fucking
down with
tease
him,
them?
and then sit down with him in a private setting.
Just
where
lay
I'm
out a
vulnerable.
bunch of family heirlooms and fine jewels.
Greg, you know I came from poor as shit family. I don't have any heirlooms.
You can get the fucking chocolate covered ones. Or sorry, the gold wrapped chocolate coins. And shit, you know? Go to any fucking dollar store. I don't want to fucking hear it. You can make this happen. I'm tired of your excuses.
The only family valuables I have are the years and years of abuse and the stories that go with it.
So
Some of those are classic.
I'm gonna pass those on to you now.
That's what we should do. Next episode, everybody shares their most fucked up family memories.
I like
wait?
it. I like it.
Why are we waiting for that?
We got too much.
I think we got Paul's.
No, man, that's the sad part. Is I could come up with more.
This is all therapeutic. This is all good.
So before I went to basic,
This helps us.
like before I went to basic, she told me she basically, like, all the shit she told me yesterday, she basically implied, but she told me a lot more screwed up stuff. Like, hey, your dad did this. Is what like insane shit. Like the day I went to basic, or the day before I went.
Yeah.
And then years later, I was like, why did you tell me that? She's like, I just made it all up. I was hoping you'd quit the army. And I was like, oh, okay. That's really messed up.
That's
And
one way
then
to do it.
to have that all come back yesterday as, oh no, that was all true. It really happened. Like, my head is like, it's like a David Lynch movie, man.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he would make a great TV show.
Yeah.
Twin Peaks Redux.
I'll give you more pills if you quit telling me fucked up shit, okay?
Just, Paul, we're missing out on something right now. You need to go in there with a white notebook and just sit down and start writing everything that woman tells you. Because something tells me there's a movie in there.
Oh my God. There might
You might as
literally
well
be
profit off of this.
there might literally be a body associated with all this. Like,
Oh, I'm no scientist, but I think my theory of 90% of veterans are really fucked up people is pretty solid at this point.
my
The
question is,
unfortunate thing is that it happened before we got in.
exactly, it's just how we're dealing with it. We're trying to process trauma we don't understand, and one of the best ways to do that is go to a third world country and kill people. Like, I didn't come up with it, it's just true.
It's the science behind it is solid.
Yeah, it's
I think it's a Freud that came up with that.
yeah. The best ways to bury your woes is bury bodies.
Freud would add up with his obsession with fucking moms.
They can be.
Before we get lost in it, I did want to make a joke about the American healthcare system
Oh yes.
and the $6 million man. Is that now you can just sprain your ankle and become a $6 million man?
Yeah.
Dude, if you have a vagina, you're even more likely to become a $6 million man.
That's fucking valid. That's
At
valid.
government expense. The VA just approved it too.
I can't wait to see the VA approved synthetic penis that will be available at some point. It'll have to be the cheapest thing out there.
Where do you think they're going to test it?
My
your
thing
ass.
is the vagina is just going to be as ugly and useless as anything else the VA puts out. Like, you're going to understand what it's supposed to be, but it's just going to cause pain and not really any healing.
No, the vagina the VA will give you will not be able to attach to your body. You'll just carry it around. It'll be like a pocket pussy that is somehow Wi-Fi to your body. So you'll technically be able to feel something, but you won't be able to actually enjoy any sort of intercourse with your mobile vagina thanks to the VA.
Yes.
So
Maybe
what
they're
you're
just
saying is they're
transplants
going to
collected
have
over the last 20 years.
they're going to have
Was that Joe?
they're going to have a contract with Fleshlight, huh?
Pretty much, or one of the other big movers and shakers in the industry. I'd like to plug in Bad Dragon for this.
Yeah.
I can just see it now. The year is 2024. You're on a date with a beautiful lady named Melinda. Things going great. You make it to their apartment. She says, "Hey, before we start, just know that my vagina is a bit different." Bam, traps it on the bed. Go ahead and fuck it like normal. I'll feel everything, but it's the VA option, so can't really attach it to my body. Can I just put it on your belly? No, it doesn't work that way. You gotta put it on the coffee table and go to town with that thing. Don't worry, I'll feel everything.
I would appreciate if you made aggressive eye contact the entire time.
Now that's romance.
Yeah.
And while we're at it, just go ahead and put on these VR glasses.
Yeah.
Now we're talking Demolition Man. Let's go.
Yes. Holy shit. Oh my God, Greg, you just, God damn it, next level shit right there. In the future, you won't even have to have genitals. You just carry your smart genitals. And then when you want to have sex with someone, you just snap them together and put on your Oculus Rift goggles.
So it'll be true that the gender you're born with isn't your own because it doesn't identify you because you can be anything you want.
You can be whatever you want. You literally just go down to the Bad Dragon genital store and buy your fancy new Bluetooth dick or
Bluetooth wolf pussy. The furries are gonna love it.
That's the future I want to live in. Demolition Man future.
If it's made out of a poly-based product, you're essentially...
Oh, you cut out, Paul. What was that?
Oh, I was saying if it's a poly-based product, you're essentially fucking a dinosaur, right?
Holy shit.
Yes!
Now we've tied in Jurassic Park and Demolition Man.
I believe
help in the process of making fucking dinosaur vaginas.
I believe we call it Jurassic Port.
You just opened up my career path, bro.
They do fucking nerds. I
wanted to get out of oil and gas, but now I'm like, no. This is where I belong.
Just a bunch of man-made dinosaurs fucking. That's
I can't wait to share this with my friends at work tomorrow.
And just Ian Malcolm going, life will find a way.
At some point, Samuel L. Jackson will be working in the genetic factory that creates these marvelous works of science. And at some point, someone will hijack the code. And then he will be forced to once again save us all. I can't get the Jurassic Park Dodo Factory back online without the help of Dennis Nedry.
I just desperately want to hear him say, hold on to your butts.
Literally.
Yeah, it'll make sense when we sit on the coffee table. Sounded like wet macaroni.
That's good generic VA vagina. Are you trying to transition? Join up and serve. We'll give you the best vagina money can serve. Or penis. Warning.
America's energy independence depends on your vagina.
Warning, the VA will not be able to give you your actual real vagina or penis. You'll be issued a plastic sleeve of your choice.
You'll be sorely disappointed with both products.
Oh, God. Greg, what have you been up to?
Oh, just work in school. That's it.
Yeah, you're fucking crushing it, man.
I'm overwhelmed. But making it.
And I am in no way depressed. Oh.
It's been
Greg, I think you need to refer to oil as earth jizz and just be like, I'm working the earth jizz.
Done.
I'm making that shit squirt.
We actually make the stuff that helps you milk out the earth jizz.
Awesome. It's like a prostate massage.
Yeah.
Or you're making the earth squirt.
No.
Nope,
No.
it's cum.
That was
Definitely cup.
It's-
Earth squirt would be the oceans because it's mostly pee.
You know what this means, right? This means that Jizz Skater can literally travel through the earth.
You're giving away the synopsis for our fourth movie.
Hold on, boys. We're going to
I don't know
West
about the
Texas.
Earth, but I know we can plow through Uranus, so I don't know. It would make sense.
That's the synopsis for the fifth movie,
Yeah.
Paul. Stop giving it away.
We won't talk about number 6 where the fucking CIA sitting there in some small little fucking house like, how do we get into China? And Jizz Skater walks in and he's like, do they have any oil wells?
Smoking a cigarette
Yeah, fuck.
in a duster jacket. With just his just skates on, nothing else.
With a
Just-
bowler cap. I know way.
Just Gator, you're back from Neptune. That's right.
Let's take it to Pound Town.
Once we found oil on Mars, I had to keep going.
I would imagine that the Just Skater at some point serves like an intergalactic overlord, sort of like the Silver Surfer, but a bit gayer.
I'd like it much more if it was like a Green Lantern style shit going on.
All his constructs have to deal with jizz, though. Just nothing useful.
That's it.
Bucket of cum. Bale of
I don't know,
cum.
man. If you're launching giant green unicorn fucking dildos at people, that could hurt.
Oh my god. Speaking of unicorn dildos, have you guys watched Black Widow?
No.
I have not. I have not.
Oh, it was actually good. I
Whoa.
give it 3 Jizz Skater thumbs out of 4.
That's a lot.
Absolutely good. Yeah, you gotta watch
heard
it.
it was-
Don't miss this one.
I heard it was
That's
better
literally
than
him giving thumbs up, and then he walks away and he turns around and he just gives a little nod and one more
Yeah.
thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Taskmaster was a little cheesier, but everything else, fucking awesome. Really good.
How'd it sit versus Captain Marvel?
It fucking destroys Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel friggin' is by far the worst Marvel movie. I would rather watch the Eric Bana Hulk 17 times while getting punched in the dick hole than ever watch Captain Marvel again. It's just putting it lightly.
I kind of feel like I want to do both just so I have to get punched in the dick hole again.
Some people would enjoy that, yes. There's a small sect of Marvel fans that enjoy that sort of punishment. But hey,
And they also enjoyed Captain Marvel.
to each their own.
These are the same guys that enjoyed Blade. Fucking idiots.
I did.
I'm a liar. I loved Blade.
Yeah, who doesn't?
You also like
Original
getting
Blade.
punched in the dick hole, like we know this.
We-
You're just saying facts we know about. Greg.
I do have an interesting update. I finally started getting treatment for migraines, and I got 24 shots of Botox all over my penis and forehead. I don't know what the penis shots will do, but the forehead and head shots felt horrible, but I felt great the next couple days.
Did at least make it girthier?
No, I can't do anything with my penis now.
Oh, I meant your forehead, but yeah, no, that's cool.
It actually made it girthier, but seeing as how it's only like 1 3/4 inches long, it really just looks swollen.
I have to stay honest, a half inch.
So what you're saying is
These shots made my innie and outie.
you can't reach the back of a tuna can, but you can definitely blow out the sides.
God, no, I'm small in both length and width.
So when you say half inch, are you
Like a
are you
baby's
measuring from
pinky
above the
toe.
balls, or you're measuring from below the balls?
I'm using the French method of incorporating the balls as well. It's the only way I can
Yeah.
measure it.
If you go all the way to the base and try and kind of incorporate the prostate taint area,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
maybe you can squeeze another inch, quarter inch. I don't know.
I have to measure internally.
We're not
Majority
talking
of
about usable length here, but you
No.
know.
no, just Guinness
You gotta
World Book of
use
Record
it
of
to have
small
usable
penis.
length, okay?
Yeah.
These are like AR pistol arguments. If you measure from the stock, it's actually a 20-inch barrel. Like,
Yes. ATF would laugh and confiscate my penis.
you have a permit for anything that small? Wow, guys, your dicks. Well, we've got them.
Give us that dick. Consider it banned and seized. Oh.
Do you think ATF guys on a seizure like that actually make small dick jokes?
I would imagine so.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
I imagine they all have small dicks, so they're probably like, "We're taking your guns, and our dicks are big."
Yeah, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Everything that they
I
stand
joined
for.
this agency to fight tobacco. Fuck.
Yeah, no, dude. I can't.
I
would never, ever, 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 ever be able to support an organization that's all about banning or making rules against those things. Just seems like
What the fuck has the ATF done against tobacco in the last fucking, I don't know, since they were put together?
I mean, didn't you watch Thank You for Smoking?
Yeah.
That movie was hilarious. That's what they did. They just made a joke for us to laugh at. That was it.
Like,
What kind of person grows up and says, "You know what I want to do?
Alcohol,
I
class
want to
one
stop people
substances,
from
and
drinking."
fucking firearms. Yeah.
The same kids that got picked on for their entire lives for having small dicks and nobody wanted to do them. That is like the incel job. That's like the involuntary celibacy job. I'm gonna be ATF.
Yes.
Nobody wants me to have fun. They can't have fun either.
Here's your big badge, and you don't have a small pee-pee. Here you go.
Have fun with that dick without any guns. Like what?
Shout out to Dave Chipman, the biggest fucking incel of them all.
Woo!
Define assault rifle. I can't. I can't do that. God, that guy. Something about him he's such a fucking nerd. Straight nerd.
All
That
I know
dude's
is
never-
I bought me about 6 ghost guns the other day with 30 magazine clips.
From a Mexican bandito.
From a Mexican bandito out of Canada.
I don't have any guns, but I got a couple blocks of aluminum and a couple CNC machines and
Oh God.
Oh, man.
some plans to add a porch behind my house.
I
Speaking
want a
of countries-
fucking Derringer that is in the shape of a fucking AR-15.
I thought you were going to say you want a Derringer in the shape of a dick.
I already have that. But I want one that looks like an AR-15, where like the magazine is the trigger, you know? And just so it's literally a short-barreled rifle to the shortest extent possible. Like that's
No.
I want one of these.
Let's
Do they
do
make
a
that
muzzle-
fucking? Let's go Google. Let's see what you got.
Let's get a straight SBR looking pistol, but it's a black powder muzzleloader.
Ooh.
Fucking A, that's the opposite.
Detachable mag, all that shit, and then just looks just like it. And they're like, "Hey, you got the paperwork for this? But it's a muzzleloader." Poosh! I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, the rest is just for show, man. It's not a real gun.
No.
You just blew a cannon-sized hole through a brick wall, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's not even dangerous." You're like, "Yeah, totally."
All right,
Cars,
all right.
cars
I
downtown
didn't
are like
find
blowing up. Like,
I did
Speaking
find
of
this,
worthless
however.
countries, we
Haiti?
yes, that and Cuba. Cubans are
Oh.
now finally asking for freedom, which leads me to my next segment. How would Greg free Cuba versus how Paul would continue to enforce the wonders of communism?
Oh man, I'm gonna make a shitty joke. It's not even a joke. I, as the leader of Cuba, would appeal to America to police my population so they would not revolt and I would appeal to Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, and AOC and ask them to maintain socialism in my nation so we can depict a glorified version and keep my people in check and stop them from getting democracy.
That's
Holy
so
fuck, that
fucking
would work.
smart. That's so fucking smart.
No, there's no way that you just came up with that off the top of your fucking head. You've thought about this.
I've thought about it since I read the fucking notes, dude.
I didn't get notes.
Oh, you didn't read the goddamn email.
We got an email?
I've been thinking about this all week. I'm like, I get the U.S. to do my dirty work. Fuck it.
All right, Greg.
When did we put out the fucking email?
I sent it in an email and I dropped it in our group chat.
And in an event that Trump gets reelected and Greg appeals to America for the freedom, then I'll just do the exact same thing with Russia, Syria, and Turkey.
Oh my god. All right, I'm looking at the group chat. I don't see no goddamn fucking notes.
I'm going to have guys in black suits show up in the house.
Yeah,
in
it's
You
there.
said it on the 14th.
Oh, forgive me
That's
for
12.
giving you more time.
That's 12. It's the 18th, bro.
Hey, I thought you were in school. Do your damn homework.
Yeah, that's why I missed the notes.
Hey, what's more important, college or this?
How dare you give me more time to read about my job?
If I'm gonna free Cuba, I can't. You can't free Cuba. No, like what are we gonna do? Free them with fucking more of the same shit?
No, just get the Bay of Pigs script and try doing that again.
That's a fine thought.
It
That's
has
a fine
to
thought.
work again.
But reboot. But all I'm thinking of, it's bad.
If it was J.J. Abrams, he'd make it work a second time.
He would.
No, if it was J.J. Abrams, like I would release all alien technology into Cuba, let them fucking free themselves, and just see where it goes from there. All right. If we're going the J.J. Abrams route, like let's make it big, let's make it flashy. Like, hey, that little fucking Tic Tac spaceship, it was us the whole time. Here you go, Cuba. We're just handing you all of them. And just
He'd be
see what
like-
you fucking do, bro.
He'd be like, no, shitty communist Cuba? Well, there's actually another world where communism's freedom and everybody loves it. Cuba. Everybody would be like, man, that was great. That was a great cut. Like, that's the way to go.
You know, I see you guys thinking about J.J. Abrams, but you guys have to think outside the box. It takes
I've
a
never been in
visionary
box
like Yule
first,
Bull
though.
to come up with a plan to free Cuba.
I believe he could do it. He'd be
If
like,
not-
everybody pick up guns and you know what Yule Bull's plan would be like, hey, let's start an interior group. Let's assassinate the president, tie him up, and shoot him 15 times. And then he would take that to the Haitians, and the Haitian Secret Service would watch it happen like, no way, this shit's going in. No, oh my God. Wait, that was real. Oh, we suck at our job.
Oh, man.
I was told this was a drill.
Oh, God, we are living in some crazy times.
I mean, I've
Crazy
always
time.
been angry with Haiti because I figured they didn't do a whole lot. Like, Haitians have irritated me. They get hit with an earthquake. They ask for help. I think it was like the last earthquake. Parents didn't want to watch their kids, so they're chucking them over an orphanage wall, like a 12-foot wall, leaving them in dumpsters. So I was like, fuck these guys, man. These people are not motivated. Hey, somebody was motivated.
Yeah, finally.
They looked for change. They made it happen. It definitely wasn't the Secret Service team. They were like, no, oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's a big L for Haitian Secret Service.
And just like our plausibly deleted ISIS recordings, they're looking at these guys and they're like, hey, they were trained in the U.S. And it's like, I heard on NPR, they're like, it's not common for the U.S. to train foreign terrorists. And I was like, oh, I would phrase that differently. Like, somebody should shoot this lady.
Sorry.
Actually, we've been. Oh God! I mean, at least Pepperidge Farms remembers.
Oh yeah, I don't forget. Yeah.
I'll just say nobody comes to America saying, "Hey, teach me how to be a terrorist so I can overthrow my country." They usually say some wacky shit like, "We've got oil and we want freedom." Try it. And we're kind of like the good old guy down the street, like, "Oh shucks, they got us again."
Oh man. Well, with that being said, welcome to our guest segment, the one and only Joe Belt. Not only is he a soldier, a father and poet, but he is a magnificent man of power and wit, sort of like Ernest Hemingway, but bigger dick and balls and
Yeah, I was
smoother
gonna say
head.
full throbbing cock. I can hear it.
I mean, it's phenomenal. His dick has a silver star for saving people in wartime. True story. Look it up. It's on there.
And
Listen
he
to me,
won't
boy.
start a shot.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt. Bite down on it.
Today, Joe is going to talk to us about the power of the written word and his journey and path in recovery. Joe, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
Please tell us about the Joe Belt, the early years, the formative years.
He's
He
like,
was born
"Fuck
in
you
a-
guys. I'm not saying shit.
I was born in a small farm in western Iowa.
Close. It was Wisconsin.
The land of cheddar.
And Cubans, right?
Yes.
Good.
The CIA brought in a lot of Cubans in Wisconsin to help with the cheese farming of 1952. Look it up, it's true.
Actually, isn't there a lot of fucking Haitians
Yes.
in Wisconsin? Like legit, isn't there like Haitian communities in fucking Wisconsin? Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I might be wrong.
No, let's go with it.
No, yeah.
Joe's actually Haitian.
Joe trained the Haitians is where I was
Let's
going
make
with.
let's make up facts and make Joe prove them.
True story. Joe is actually a spy from Haiti.
No, I was really going down the route of Joe was like, "Hey, you Haitians look like you want to fucking commit a coup and probably kill a president. Come to my garage. Let me teach you some stuff."
And he did. Oh.
Haiti's your fault, Joe.
All right.
Hey, funny enough, there is a large Hmong population in Wisconsin and Minnesota.
I mean,
that I did know.
Yeah.
the Hmong, of course, being the refugees of the violent war in China in the 1940s between the Hmong people and the Chuds, the cannibalistic underground dwelling people.
Mongolians.
All right, Joe, take it away.
Yeah, please.
Wait, one more jab of the,
I
and
mean-
then go blue. The Hmong people who were our aides, and we swore we would never abandon our allies again after that conflict.
Ooh.
Statements that didn't age well.
I promise I'll never leave you.
Some dude at work, I just gotta say it real quick, because you said AIDS. Some dude at work fucking caught me off guard the other day, because some dude had like a bunch of scabs on his elbow. This
And he
other
gave
dude
you
walks up and
AIDS?
he's like, he was like, "What do you got? Outside AIDS?" And I was just like, "What the fuck? He's outside AIDS." So that's a thing now.
And that's how Greg got AIDS.
Twice.
The more you know.
Philadelphia.
I've been living with inside AIDS for years.
That's a
Little
reference
did I
to the
know.
1990s movie Philadelphia, starring Denzel Washington and Tom Hanks, about a dude that gets AIDS.
That's the reboot. I have outside AIDS.
I want to see J.J. Abrams direct a new version of Philadelphia. I need aliens and robots, and there's got to be slaves.
Maybe Philadelphia Project
Wait.
and the Captain's Got AIDS. I just made it for you. There you go.
In a world ravaged by space AIDS, Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington, Philadelphia. Hold on
I
to
am
your
DM.
butts.
I am the one with AIDS now. Oh no.
Okay. All right.
Joe, please talk. Shut us
He
up.
is a guest. What do we do?
Carry on, for God's sakes, or I will tell your story for you.
Don't let us do this to you.
Unmuting my mic. Go.
Gosh. So I was born in Wisconsin, but I didn't live there. My dad was in the Air Force, so I've been all over the world. And then I joined the Army. And so now I've only been to Georgia, New York, and Europe.
Nice. That's a robust travel log right there. New York.
With 4
Georgia.
tours to the Middle East. We'll throw that in there too.
The Middle East. Look at me, Pa, a world traveler.
Yes.
That sounds like a lot of us. Oh man. So were you always a medic, Joe?
No. When I first came in, I was ground surveillance systems operator, so the combat arms at MI, and they got rid of the MOS in 2006. So my first deployment to Iraq in 05, 06, I was not a medic.
Oh shit.
And my experiences during that time are what drove me to be a medic.
Tell us, because that's something that's a common thread for a lot of guys that weren't medics to begin with, especially like 18 Deltas. They find themselves in a situation where they're like, "Holy fucking shit! Look at Doc, I want to do that." Is that what you found yourself in?
Similar. Mine was, so when we went out, we didn't have a medic with us. So mine was, holy fucking shit, I'm never deploying again without a medic. And so I became one.
It's like the worst case scenario for Lost Boys. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Keep your insides inside.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. But
Put him back. Put him back. Put him back.
Was it a pretty kinetic deployment? Was it filled with a lot of things that led you to believe, like, shit, this is a bad idea, never having a medic?
it was a little bit of both. So because of our job, so we did a lot of fucking patrols, but we'd also be augmented to other units.
Okay.
And so that's when I really saw the most as far as that deployment goes. And that's when I had a lot of close calls. That's when I developed survivor's guilt, all those kinds of things. And I felt like, I was caught with my pants down. I was like, fuck that. That's not going to happen ever again. And so then that's when I became a medic. And then I deployed 3 other times as a medic.
Now,
go
become
for
a
it.
medic and deploy. What was that like? Now you've got the tools. Now you got the resources. You're like, okay, fuck this. They're never going to catch me. You get prepared. You get the training. Now you're Doc. You're the guy everybody goes to, not just for medical support, but I think Paul and Greg can agree. Like, we go to Doc for just about every sort of issue, anything at all, whether it's talk and get shit off our chest. Like, the medic on a platoon is easily the most sought after guy for just about everything. You just have that easy rapport. What was that like?
Well, one of the really neat things is you kind of have that blind trust. So as soon as you get there, they don't know what you know. They don't know what you don't know, but they think you know everything. And so I would hit up my PA all the time, like, hey, how's this? How do you do this? How do you do this? How do you do this? Because I felt the individual responsibility because of my desire to switch over to be a medic. I had to be the best that I could be in my profession. So nobody else had to go through what I went through my first deployment. And so I worked hard and I studied a lot to know, and I just did my best. I mean, that's all we can do. So as you guys are well aware, every deployment's different, right? And so it was humbling, nerve-wracking, and fulfilling, depressing, painful, like every single emotion you can think of, because you're working with those that you come really close to, and your job is to take care of them. And it's funny because I was at a meditation retreat a couple weeks ago, and one of the guys I was talking to was like, "So you're a medic in the Army?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "So is it like being an EMT?" I was like, "No, it's worse, because the people I work on, I know it's not just some random person that I'm called on to go take care of."
Yeah.
And and I wasn't trying to be a dick, but I was just being factual, and he shut up really quick. But there's an emotional attachment involved. When you're doing what you got to do, when you're doing your craft, or I should say, when I'm doing my craft, you compartmentalize it right there, and you just do muscle memory. But afterwards, that's when you start to second guess yourself. Did I do everything right? Could I have done this better? And you start playing that what if game. And that's what is the most plaguing overall, because we as a military are programmed to look at the negatives to find ways to get better. And so it's a perpetual cycle of what if, guilt, shame, and it hurts. It hurts a lot. And that's one of the things that I really have had to deal with as I've gone through healing. And like you were talking about, when I first started therapy, one of the things I did is I wrote. That was how I got my pain out. And it wasn't until just recently, I never even went back and read them. I just wrote them to get it out, and then I'd like tuck them away.
Yeah.
But I'm in a better place now. So I have read them, and I appreciate them a lot more. And they don't have the same grip on me like they did. There's still emotion to them, but the emotion doesn't control me like it used to.
Yeah. That's one thing I always imagine is going to be hard for the medics, for the docs. Because you're right. You're not pulling up to a scene and taking care of John Doe.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking care of the guy to your left and right. And that trauma, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
And we can talk about combat trauma all day, but when it's the guy to your left and right, and now you're responsible to keep them alive, to keep them moving, keep them going, or hell, if because one of the biggest things, triage, like, fuck.
Yeah.
How do you make that call? How do you take that and at the moment make the decision like a machine? And inevitably, years later, have to address that. And I think that's something that a lot of people out there in the audience, other docs, probably have a lot of the same issues of having to make those calls.
So in the moment, it's like anything, right? You either fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah.
And we all freeze at some point. It's inevitable, right?
Mm-hmm.
The shock of it, you're going to freeze, but then you snap out of it and you do what you got to do. And you compartmentalize it, because you push away the feelings so you can get it done. And you don't, for me, I can't speak for me. So I quit looking at them as people, and I looked at them as an objective. And the objective was to save as many as I can, however I can, and to place them in an order. Because I keep saying you, I'm just used to saying that when I write. So
yeah.
When I would look at it, it's similar to when you get your first IED blast, and it's very surreal. Time slows down, and you just do it, right? And so that's what I would do. I'd go in, triage. All right, here's what we're going to take care of. And then you do this, I'm doing this. And you just do it. I don't know how to explain it other than that. But it's afterwards, that's when it hits you. that's when you second guess. That's when you're like, holy fuck, I should have done this. Holy fuck, if I had done this, maybe he would have lived. But the reality is, and they teach us this in the schoolhouse, and it briefs well. You can do everything right, and people are gonna die. You could do everything wrong, and people are gonna live. So you just gotta do the best you can, and that's what I did. And I had a multitude of pucker factor moments of like, oh shit, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. And then you just snap out of it and I just snap out of it and do my thing. But yeah, it sucks. It's bittersweet, especially for me, because not having a medic before, I really took more ownership and a responsibility for it because I couldn't do that before. And so I internalized everything, and I gave it everything. And then as I continued to progress in rank, I would do my best to instill that in my soldiers. But even then, it's hard, and it's hard not to get angry and frustrated because I know what it's like and I know what it takes. And so when I see other medics, same grade or less, not putting in their full effort, I get fucking livid. And
it's absolutely a personal. You take it personal, like
yes, very
part
much
of
so.
it. It's part of it due to the fact that you've experienced so much, you've had to deal with so much, and it's that control factor. Somehow, if I can control these guys, control their mentality, and make them complete professionals, I'm going to ensure that no more lives are lost. And that's a hard thing as a leader, because at the end of the day, you can only do so much.
One of the hardest lessons I had to learn was when I was a platoon sergeant, when I was a medical platoon sergeant. I had to, take medics that came straight from the schoolhouse, didn't know what they knew, didn't know what they didn't know, and I had to trust the system, and I would have to make a decision to push them to the line. And that was extremely difficult and extremely taxing because, again, going back to the personal investment that I have, I felt like if they didn't perform well, it was my fault because I'm the one that pushed them out there. And so that was a really hard lesson I had to learn in trust versus control. And it was hard. And I was always talking to my senior medics to make sure that things were going good. Because if things weren't going good, I would pull a medic in a heartbeat and I would push somebody else out there. It's because at the end of the day, the aid station is going to work, right? It's those that have to be out there alone by themselves to perform independently that really take the brunt. And I knew what that was like. And so I listened to them and got feedback from them to make sure that the right people were in the right places.
Solid plan. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Take feedback, know your guys inside and out, see their strengths, weaknesses, know how to develop them. But at the end of the day, you got to make the call, put the right people in the right place, and then train up the other guys.
Yeah, because
I think
I can't be everywhere at once, and so I have to be able to get people ready to take that role.
Yeah. Now, before you went and got help, what was it like transitioning from work to father to, caring, loving Joe versus now?
So I have 3 children, 2 which I really do not have a relationship with, and then my youngest who's 4 now.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually just talked about this past week in therapy. I had made work my life and my priority, and I didn't care about my home life. The things that I cared about were the people to my left and to my right, and I invested all my time and energy into that.
Stop
And
reading my mind.
because of that, I don't
What was
have
that? Greg, what was that?
I said, stop reading my mind.
Seems like a common thread because we're passionate for what we do, because
That's what it is.
we have to support, we have to provide, and it's our calling. We identify what we do as this is me.
And it's
And I
it's
can,
not so much a support the family and provide for the family. It crosses that line of I have to support and provide, whether it's good leadership or
yeah,
judgment calls and shit like that for the guys that you work with as well. Like you feel that you're obligated. I mean, even on the civilian side, I mean, there's like right now, my position, I could show up for 6 hours, walk out, nobody would know the difference. But I'm still there 12 plus hours a day because I feel like I have to be there, not to control, not to micromanage, but just in case someone
something
needs me.
happens.
Yeah.
and that's how we're bred. Like that's how we're trained with that mentality. And I am learning to not think that way, and it's actually extremely beneficial. Like just recently, I took off the diamond. I went to my sergeant major and said, I'm fucking done. And so now I work in brigade med ops, which is an E7 job, and it's a fucking cakewalk, right? And I do what I got to do, and I'm done. Like I don't stay there longer than I need to be. I'm not anticipating a phone call. I don't feel like I have to be there every single moment because if shit drops or something happens, it's my fault. Because now it's all I do is push out guidance. I get information, push out taskings, and after that, it's not on me.
Yeah.
Which is really nice, and it's helping me see another side of things. So when I do transition out of the Army, I already know I want absolutely zero type of management job. Like I just want to do my thing and be done. Like I don't want to be accountable or responsible for anybody, because in the civilian world, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, right? There is that individual responsibility. If somebody doesn't do what their shit, that person's held accountable. Whereas in the Army, somebody doesn't do their shit, we're
Greg, please enlighten us.
Nah, let Joe finish.
No, I'm just used to having to like take an ass shooting for somebody else. They go out and get a DUI. It's my fault because I'm the one that forced them to drink. I'm the one that forced them to drive. Right. And I don't imagine it's that same way in the civilian world, but I don't know.
I mean, again, it all comes down to what company you work for, the environment and culture that they have bred over the years. But in my, I'm going to say limited knowledge, right? Because we're all lifelong learners. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
In my knowledge and the companies that I've worked for, not much changes. I, at this current time, am responsible for about 50 or 60 people across 4 different crews that work 24/7, 365. Welcome to oil and gas. We don't stop. If some dude that I don't even know his fucking first name, pops hot for fucking drugs or does something fucking stupid, it's immediately fucking on me. And I mean, you can write that person up, you can do all that shit, but realistically, it's me that's having to face the COO or the CEO, or I got to talk to the vice president of human resources, and they're just like, so what are you doing with these guys? And I'm like, well, I give them direction, and then they go home for 7 days and they smoke fucking pot because that's definitely in my control. It's not much fucking changes, man. You still get, people will always try to use and abuse you, and that's where we set the difference for our guys and hope that they actually see that hard work will pay off. But no, you're not a number. You know, that's and it's a changing culture across the whole fucking board because you're always overworked, you're always underpaid. That's just the way it is, and it's kind of hard to find a fucking job nowadays where you don't have. It's going to be hard for you coming into the civilian world because a lot of these fucking feelings don't go away, you know, and you're going to get there and you're going to be like, fuck yeah, I'm a goddamn Best Buy fucking sales clerk in the PC center. Let's fucking go. You know, you're like, I'm not going to do shit but sell some computers and call it a fucking day. And then you're going to yell at because somebody in the fucking Microsoft section fucked up and wasn't there, but you were fucking 15 feet away with another customer and you had no fucking clue. And hey, you need to keep your head on a swivel. You know, you better go sell more computers, you piece of shit, even though you were doing your job. That shit's going to fucking happen everywhere you fucking go. And then you're going to be like, all right, I'm motivated to do a little bit better. I'm going to keep my head on a swivel. And then you're going to start trying to balance all kinds of stupid shit. And then you're going to find yourself caught up in it. And maybe I'm just an idiot that fucking finds myself in these situations. But I mean, it's just, it's not, I don't see much of a change, you know? In fact, it's harder because in the military, I can go to said private's fucking residence, or I could at least, you know, and correct stupid shit in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And now you still take the full responsibility for what your guys do, but you literally cannot say shit. You can't do anything, you know, because now it's all just a fucking lawsuit. Like it gets harder, and that's why a lot of guys have problems transitioning out years after they've been out. Because you just get it in your mind that there's another way to do this, and then you find out, oh, there's actually a harder way to do this, and that's what we're doing. All right, cool. You know, it's tough.
And thank you for confirming my desire to not have any type of leadership position.
Well, I'm saying like that's even like being a veteran, being former military. It sucks because they're going to thrust it on you, and it will get used against you in some job. I won't say it'll happen in every job, but there's going to be some job where something's going to get fucked up. It might not be your responsibility, but somebody's going to be like, I thought you were in the Army. I thought you guys were better than this. Like, it's like a fucking tool to abuse you mentally. So and I digress. I have a lot of anger when it comes to that one. I get fucking tired of hearing it.
I will say this.
And I thought you had a master's in engineering, but this fucking machine doesn't work. So fix it, you piece of shit. Well, I didn't design it. Not my problem.
Greg, stop! I will say this. Don't swear off leadership. There's lots of good things that you have developed, lots of great tools you've developed, especially in your recovery. And all the things that you've been able to identify. In fact, when a leader doesn't kill themselves and is able to put priority in the things that provide wellness in his life, he's a more powerful and better equipped leader. So, Joe, I will say that the world and whatever company gets you, wherever you go in life, they will benefit from the leadership skills that you have developed, not only in the military, but on your road to recovery. Because you're a remarkable person, brother. You've got a lot to offer. And you can be somebody's work mentor. You can be a great leader. Just don't sell yourself short. I know there's a lot of pains that go in being a leader in the military, and you identified it. Like, why am I getting destroyed for PFC Boner Chetty getting a DUI and railing two dudes in the back of an F-150? It's not.
I had him first.
Yeah.
And if I could say too, like it's different. Like politic is bigger in the civilian world, and that's frustrating. But one of the, and I will say too, and you've made it farther than I did. I don't think the Army teaches us how to delegate. I think that's a big hampering. We learn how to carry weight, and we learn how to shoulder it, and we learn how to stand next to another guy that does. Like if Cab's suffering, I can say, hey, I'm suffering too. Look, let's carry this extra 20 pounds. All right, let's pick that up. Hey, Greg, let's pick that up. but we didn't necessarily get taught to like, hey, pass this off to the next guy. One, to make him be a better leader, and two, to get a better work-life balance. I think that's that whole workaholic crap, right? We make work our life because we find purpose there. However, I will say one of the great things I always heard as a young soldier was you can only control what's beneath you. And as a civilian, I wear that a lot prouder because you can go be at a place where you're a button pusher and you can be like, hey, this sucks. You can see some real turd leadership, do some really turdy things because they're jockeying for position and just crapping on guys. And you can say, that's not how a good NCO treats his soldiers. And like, it doesn't make sense to anybody out there, but it makes sense in your brain. And you start prioritizing guys. And then depending on if you can really be a servant leader, then you can really serve your team and do things. Like I am in a role now where I have a guy who is an alcoholic forever and he deals with that. And we discuss trauma. We had discussed the roots of addiction. We discuss whatever. And he's come really far. And he has days where he kind of backslides and turns into a turd on me and just really starts sucking. And it's like, hey, I don't want to do this. HR says I have to do this. Why? It's like, because it's your job. Well, I don't like doing it. It's like, nobody cares what we like. Like, do it to show your supervisors that's what we do. But it's dumb. And I don't think I should have. It's like, dude, get your head out of your ass. And it's almost, it's, and I was never a first sergeant, but to me, that's almost the first sergeant platoon sergeant role in like an infantry company. You're supposed to be telling them, hey, man, yeah, I get that it sucks, but we're going to follow the policy. We're going to trust the process. We're going to do these things. And there's more times. There's more times where there's opportunity for you're responsible for a guy's fuck up, but it's usually on a corporate level. But you have the ability to do stuff. If I have a guy that sexually harasses some lady, I can cut him off like a bad limb immediately. I don't have to counsel him. I don't have to go through all the steps. I don't have to do that. And he doesn't reflect on me. What actually reflects on me was my violence of action to take care of the situation. Now, if my guys get something stuck in their eye and they say, well, we never wear safety glasses and Paul's been out here and he's never given a shit. Now that's on me. And now what my guy did, I'm responsible for. So it's like, it's just kind of how you wear it. And then you end up doing kind of the dickhead thing where everyone put your glasses on, but we're on break. Shut up, put your glasses on. Everybody on the floor has glasses on. And everybody's like, you're a dick. And you're like, that's what happened. Shut up. So some of that gets old and you're just kind of that. To me, that's really old school Army games, but there is some great opportunity to lead. And I don't know how many times, especially where I'm at, I just see some really wonky things. What I see is a habit of leadership to come up with a great idea, pull together a team, hand that tasking out and say, hey, Cab, we got this really great idea. We're going to re-engineer this thing. We're going to build this new thing. Here's a brand new thing. It's going to take 10 guys to run. You're going to make this work and it's going to save millions of dollars. We'll see you in 3 months when you're saving millions of dollars. And you're like, what? How do I use it? Where's the team? Where are the 10 guys coming from? How do I do? And I see that kind of leadership that doesn't care. And in the end, they're like, well, you're making my project look bad. And you're like, it was a shitty project from the get-go. You didn't plan any of that. It's like, this isn't really your project. You handed it off and walked away. And one, just kind of, you're disposable, right? So like, I will look at that and I will make a good name and do what I think is right and try and serve my team. And that gives me more freedom to be like, hey, guys, this was launched really poorly. I'm not going to point fingers, but like, why can't we do better? Why can't we brainstorm? Why can't we do lessons learned? And some of that catches, but I'm also a realist enough to know at some point they'll just get tired of my ass and they'll be like, you know what? You always have negative shit to say. Why don't you go away? Which is fine. I'll go find somewhere else to land. But I wouldn't give up on the leadership just because you have the ability to treat and train people differently. And for one of the crappy whatevers, like people always emulate one of their first bosses. And it's hard when you get out, because I think as a civilian, you get out with the mentality you want to save everybody. Maybe not, but that's what I felt. I think a lot of people feel that as new leaders. And it's like transitioning from the Army to civilian life. Like, I can save everybody. This guy's doing some stupid shit. Let me help him out. Hey, this guy's cheating on his wife and with this chick he works with. And like, I'll help him get his head screwed through everything away. You're going to lose him. You're never going to fix those. But every now and then you'll get a guy who's like, man, I really need purpose. I don't know what I'm doing. And that door opens and you get to kind of mentor and lead and speak into something. And to me, like, those are worth it, as cheesy as that is. Those handful of times that works out. That's worth it. When I can sit there and talk to a guy about like his history of alcohol, he came to me, he was kept telling me, my brother is a big addict. You know, I kicked the habit. I'm still an addict, but I can't drink because I know what I'll do. And I'm watching my brother do this and watching my brother do this. Kept telling me I worked with him 2 years. My brother would be better off if he just died. I wish he would just die. He came up to me 2 weeks ago and he's like, hey, I need to talk. I'm like, what's up? He's like, yeah, my brother just OD'd. And I don't really know what to do. And it's like, all right. and just being an ear to listen to him process his trauma. And like now he's unpacking, hey, this is what my dad was like, you know, this is what my brother was like. This, and I don't know what to do with it, but you're like, wow, I'm glad I'm not a dickhead boss. It's like, you know what? That sucks, man, but you had 3 days off. I really just need you to shut up and go back to work.
Mhm.
And just to give that space and be like, yeah, man, like let's talk about this. How do we get help for this, and how do we grow through this? Because then he's going to have the opportunity to do the same thing. He's taken lessons I taught him 2 years ago with new supervisors and teaching him that, hey, be patient with this new guy. Yeah, this guy's out of high school and he doesn't have any work ethic and he's a jackass, but try and remove every barrier so he can succeed. And if at the end he can't succeed, then we'll part ways, but at least do that first, and then we'll figure out what to do. If I could, man, I'd make them all join the army, though. I'd just be like, shut the fuck up and join for 2 years.
I said that numerous times.
Oh, yeah.
I would
One-
do
one of
that,
the-
but I made him get a sex change too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he'll get that in the army. No worries.
That'd be your option.
One of the
Join or sex change.
or sex change. One of the harder things that Paul kind of tapped on was feeling like you got to fix everybody. There comes a time where you're gonna have this kind of epiphany,
Mhm.
where you're like, yeah, I've been working with this guy for 4 months. He does nothing but fuck up, and you're like, hey, you know what? This isn't the army where I just have to accept whatever fucking private is given to me. You know, like it's that is one big benefit, is that if somebody does something really fucking stupid, you know, and they've been trained, and you have that documentation that they've been trained and they know what they're supposed to be doing because they've done it successfully numerous times, and they just say fuck it and they want to do something else, you can fucking fire them. You know, you can just be like, all right, bye. You know, but in that, I found that a lot of civilian leadership tends to have fear, which creates a lot of frustration in the workplace. Is that nobody wants to be shorthanded,
Yeah.
so they will accept a raging piece of shit, and this even goes up to human resources. They will accept somebody who does not do their job, will not do their job, and will verbally confirm that they don't give a fuck, because they know that, well, once every couple weeks he actually steps up and he does this for about 4 hours, and it's really good. So, you know, I know he's been here for 2 years, but we're gonna keep working on him. He'll turn around. Like, yeah, no, he's not. You know,
And
he's gotten
you're
away
already
with it
doing
for
his work.
years. Yeah, like he's gotten away with it for so long that it's not gonna fucking change, because he knows that nobody's gonna do anything. You know, so that's one of the bigger things, is realizing that, breaking through that fear of being shorthanded and having people maybe have to pick up additional workload and shit like that until you get somebody else. But that's a huge problem in the civilian side, is that
Well, that's-
people just accept trash employees because, well, at least we're fully staffed.
That sounds the exact same way as the army. The only difference is you can actually get rid of them. Because
Yeah, that's
You're-
my
you're
point, is
already-
you realize that, and
everybody's
you're like, hell
already
yeah.
doing that work anyways.
Yep. But that's the problem on the civilian side, is people are afraid. You know, like you'll get to that point where you're like, ah, fuck, if I let this guy go, like, you know, he works pretty good, but every once in a while he fucks up, and you're like, maybe I'll give it to him, you know, benefit of the doubt. And then eventually you hit that point where you're like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, and you're just, dude, go, you're gone. And then your leadership and people around you are going to freak the fuck out, because they don't realize that they're already doing that work, that they're already covering down on that position. You know, and that makes it a little, it creates conflict in the workplace when you're just like, all right, bye. You know, and then you look like an asshole. But then, you know, maybe the next guy comes through and he's a fucking rock star, and you're like, yeah, told you. You know, it's a development tool for a lot of young leaders too, is just, hey, look, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to fire this guy, you know, because you've said you wanted to do it for 6 months, so we're going to do it because he's a piece of shit. And I'll show you what'll happen. You know, you're afraid, you think it'll be hard, but watch and see what happens. You know, and then you find, you know, maybe not immediately, but 2-3 guys down the line, you find the perfect fucking dude for the position. You're like, all right, there. Life is better, yeah? Because if we still had the other guy, you'd be fucking miserable right now.
So I go the opposite way. I'm totally the HR friendly, whatever specialness. And I think I picked this up from Army schools and then one of the last jobs I worked. But man, like if you're my supervisor, you want to get rid of your guy. Cool, show me the documentation. Oh, you didn't do the documentation.
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't do it. All right, man. Then we're going to walk through this as painfully as we can. And then each time you cross a line, so you do a verbal, whatever, like a counseling statement, basically.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go take it to HR. I'm going to sit with HR. Will you explain to me why that's gone and explain me the documentation? And I'm going to be as you explain that, I'm going to say, well, did you do everything you need to do? Like we had a guy who was colorblind. He wires every single truck wrong. He's just not getting it, man. He makes the stupidest mistakes. He wired this truck wrong last week. He did this with like going over. I'm like, have we done everything for him? Have we and it just gets old. Have we tried marking it? Have we tried color coding it? Have him trace the wires. And the guy's like, that's stupid. They're color coded. Then it comes back the next day. Apparently he's colorblind. What? Yeah, he's colorblind. He's working on a wiring harness. He can't see color at all. And it's like, all right. So,
Perfect. Keep him there.
Let's walk through this. So you want to fire him, right? Yeah, and we want to fire him. Why? Because he's colorblind, right? So let's fire him because he's colorblind. And let's get our ass sued because OEE. But if you give me all the performance shit, all the stuff where he's failed to improve, and we show all the things we've done, all the steps we've taken to try and make it work for him, and it still doesn't work, game on, man. HR will shake our hand gladly.
So I agree with that, and maybe I fast forwarded my explanation.
But yeah, I always make him fight for it. Like, you want the guy gone, show me you want him gone. Do all the right things. Do everything you need. Because sometimes I get guys who are like, he looked at me funny, I want him fired. And so we don't play that game. Man. Like, I have no interest in that bullshit.
Lot of pettiness.
And what gets dumb is like now I have supervisors that were total old school assholes that like they're explaining coaching to each other. They're explaining counseling to each other. They're trying to teach their leads how to do stuff. I've got one guy I've been trying to get to be like a ball player with this whole thing. He's been there 20 odd years. And he's like, I feel like I'm the senior supervisor here. I feel like I need to organize some special meeting to tell the other supervisors what we expect and need to see each week, lay out a schedule for them, make sure we can meet it before I run anything. That way I'm not halfway running stuff and finding out on parts. And they're not getting them to me. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, why should I have to do that? Just because I'm the senior guy and I know what's going on? I'm like, yeah, that's exactly why.
Exactly.
So he's been running this meeting, and this was a guy they tried firing 5 times just because, like, oh, he's an angry asshole. And now he's like leading these team groups and putting stuff together and like laying out what operation. And it's like, dude, that you've grown in like 2 years, man. You were just an old putz of a dude. I swear the guy was like his late 20s or some crap. The dude's like 48, almost 50. And he acted like a child when it came to any interaction. And now it's like, well, engineering told me I need to do it like this, but I gave him documentation when this needs to happen. They never showed up. So I showed them this. And it's just like, you're learning, man. And the thing I always use, I stole it from Cab and shit, is the whole football thing. Like, dude, as long as you can move the ball forward, we can still play together. The point that you can't move the ball forward anymore for me, you won't take my coaching, you won't take my training, you won't take any of my feedback, then it's time to get off the team. But I mean, even if you're making the worst progress ever, maybe I have to coach you constantly. I've had guys I meet with once a week to be like, what'd you do today? Well, you yelled at this guy. Why'd you yell at that guy? Well, and just line by line, log every interaction you have with people. Let's go through this. And either they're going to look at me and go, I quit. I don't want to do this. Okay, fine. I'll go find somebody else. Or they'll make it a month, 2 months, 3 months. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I get it. I understand. I know what I need to do. I've got a guy right now who doesn't like working with women. He's got this lady who's super, super charismatic and annoying, but he will legit hang outside the bathroom door as soon as she goes to the bathroom till she comes out, and then he'll start chewing her out for walking off and not telling him exactly where she was. And it's like, you are going to catch a sexual harassment lawsuit for this company.
Yep,
and I'm going to coach you what to do. And he feels like, I feel like you're against me. I'm not against you. I'm for you. I want you to succeed. But the moment you catch that lawsuit, we're going to say we already had this conversation, and you're going to eat it all by yourself with no umbrella from the company, because I've had this conversation now.
Yeah, as a warning to all our audience members out there, if a lady goes to the bathroom and you follow her, you're just in the wrong. You're just in the wrong.
Yeah. Don't follow ladies in the bathroom.
Don't do that. That's a big no-no.
But I don't know, man. And the thing is being here at this company, they've been doing this crap for like 10, 12 years, and nobody's jumped in. And it took, I mean, I got in there. I was there for like 3 months. I had this dude sexually harassing all the women. And I had one lady come up to me when I was new. She's like, maybe you'll do something about this. This guy's saying all this to me. I'm like, yeah, no, we don't do that. So I went to the team. Hey, I'm hearing about this. Like, yeah, he does it to everybody. What do you mean everybody? Well, that guy's like, this dude, husband and wife worked on the floor. He does this to this guy's wife all the time. He gets all mad. He wants to fight him. We told him he can't fight him. We'll fire him. He does this. I'm like, whoa. How long? Oh, since this guy's been here. I'm like, no shit. So go get my statements. Go pull that guy in. Sit down in the conference room. I'm like, hey, you doing this? Yep, I'm doing this. I don't even need an investigation now. Like, you owned it. Cool. Get all your shit. I'm gonna walk you outside. You're done. Don't come back in. I'll call the police.
Bye.
And
You
they're
made
all
this
like,
so easy.
yeah, and they're like, what was that? Like, people are going to be scared. And I'm like, they should be scared. No one should be harassed to come here. Like, none of that. Like, well, he was a good worker. I don't give a shit.
That doesn't mean shit.
And now their
that's
heads
one
are
of the
all
fucking problems we have. Is it just oh well, he did good, but he's a piece of shit.
But
Yeah,
no,
just-
and my argument is like they didn't have a leader to say that's not how you let your people be treated.
Oh, God.
They were all
that's-
content to
that's a
look the
valid
other way,
argument.
and it's like, fuck no, man. Like,
Rodney's
you
a
don't do
great.
that.
Rodney's a great guy. He works real hard. He just walks around shoving his fingers in people's orifices. So what's wrong with that?
We had this 19-year-old chick dating a National Guard kid. She was just, I didn't know her well, but she's like a sweet kid. She came to us in tears, me and HR. Took this guy his components to build whatever product he was building. He said he does meth all the time. He enjoys meth. He would really like to share his meth with her, but he doesn't want money. Instead, he just buys lingerie, and if she would pose in that and let him take pictures, he would consider that fair.
I mean, he sounds like a straight shooter, if you ask me.
Paul, are you hiring?
Yeah. So I actually, at that point, I was. Because I went up to that guy, I'm like, hey, did you just say this? And he starts laughing, and he's like, why'd she get mad? And I'm like, I didn't ask that. Did you
Gentlemen,
say
we
this?
went
And
full
he's like,
circle.
yeah, he's like, yeah, I said this. I'm like, get your shit, let's go. Like,
And he's
really
like,
wants
to
to
be
be able
able
like, yeah.
to steal some underpants. Right?
Oh yeah, oh my gosh. Dad, I am your father.
You fired your dad.
No,
We did it.
I'll tell you too, is I never wanted to work in a factory. I never wanted to do this. And when that's kind of all the work I was getting after college, I told myself, if I ever work in a factory, I'm going to be a good leader and treat people better than my dad got treated, because he hated the way he was treated by all these people. And I think I'm doing right by that. But the more I learn about my dad, I'm like, oh, my dad's a terrible person.
Of course he's getting treated bad. He's stealing everybody's underwear.
He's the guy I'm supposed to protect people from.
New movie idea. It's going to be a dark noir film about a gang of people that steal underpants led by Paul's dad. And then Paul's character is that detective who's trying to find out who is it.
And at the end of the movie, I've got this fishing line with a pair of underwear on it, and I'm sitting in a dark parking lot, and it's raining, and I feel a tug on the thing, and I reel it in, and I'm like, no, it's not you.
It can't be.
You.
It always was.
You just see me draw my snub nose and just fire all 5 shots, and save that last one. And they show up, they're like, we understand.
It's got to be a black and white film. God damn it, we did it. Joe, thank you for joining us on this amazing podcast. This has been a great time. What are some advice? What's some advice you would give to any young person listening to this show besides go to the bathroom and rinse out your ears? And what would you say to a kid, guy or girl, that wants to become a medic in this day and age?
It is a wonderful profession, but it's a tough profession. And you have to be willing to accept that. And you have to be willing to go above and beyond to take care of those that you work with, because your job is to make sure that they're okay and then make sure that yourself is okay. And so with that, you have to do the things for you that are going to help you be okay. And so real quick, for me, that's writing. So when I get out of the Army, I am going to go to massage therapy school, do that because I have no responsibility, and write. That's all I'm going to do is write. I have found a passion for it, and that's what I'm going to do. And so I can manage my time. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to take care of them and find ways to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you're going to get burnt out. You're going to build resentment, and it'll plague you until you get help.
That is sage advice. But Joe, right now, if we wanted to see some of your haikus, where would we go?
So I'm on Instagram. It's at a man and his haiku. I've just recently started doing that, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I post
And
one
how would
every day.
Can you go ahead and give us your Instagram at
@a_man_and_his_haiku.
That's a lot of underscores.
It is.
Would it be too much? Would it be too much to ask for you to potentially share your favorite, or I don't know, one that means the most to you?
Yeah, Denny gets to do that.
No,
Perfect.
you got it. I want you to do a haiku right now about Paul, Greg, and myself. It's
Oh shit! All right, hold on.
got to be from the heart.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta count the syllables on my hand. All right.
Bonus points if it includes cum or jizz.
Okay, hold on. All right. Okay. Got the first line. Hold on.
I just want to share. I'm looking at some poets because, Joe, I like writing and I want to know who you're checking out. But I typed in Veterans Poetry GWAT and I got a page called GWAT Thoughts. And I was like, say
Oh
that's
shit.
Pull that shit up.
All right. A group of brothers play biscuit in the middle. He who comes first is last.
I would have to say, usually it's Greg. It takes a while. He's very shy.
I don't believe that. I think he waits for it. I think he's just like,
Oh no, I'm last. Yum.
like you haven't even started, man. Like, no, it's okay.
I had
I'll
to
catch
fucking
up.
FaceTime my son right there to say goodnight to him, so I muted my fucking mic. And this is the shit that happens when I can't respond. That was fucking beautiful.
I mean, it wasn't wrong, so. So, Joe, I'm trying to think of
I
some
didn't
guys that-
disagree.
That's the forbidden oyster for Greg.
If you get the chance, there's a dude. I did a big study when I was in college, and it was on veterans writing. So basically, I went back to World War I, and I just looked for PTSD and survivor's guilt as themes.
Mhm.
But there's a dude, Brian Turner, and he's current war, and he wrote a book called Here Bullet, and it's got some really cool stuff. I'll have to dig around, kind of think of some other stuff. But there's some really fun stuff coming out of this, man. I don't know if you read Yellowbird. I'd stay with. Not my favorite. Not a bad book, but just different.
Yeah,
me.
I've read it.
Oh man, a lot of people are like, I'm like, I don't want to disparage anybody, but suck a dick. And then, and then was it Billy whatever's a longtime halftime show? It was just not a. I don't know. I like stuff that feels grittier.
Yeah.
Vietnam's got some great stuff. The things they carried, amazing.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And another great one is Fields of Fire, written by he's like a Democrat senator out of Virginia. But amazing Vietnam book. But there's some really good stuff out of that, man. Yeah, dude, writing has been a savior for me, man.
Yeah, Jenny
Yeah,
has.
Paul, you should keep doing it, Paul.
Yeah, I should. I do it off and on, man. But yeah, it gets dark as shit.
Oh, it's going to be a lot
Fucking let
easier
it out, my
because Greg and I have something to tell you, Paul. Coming real soon.
Oh yeah,
the Security Halt website with our very own Paul Strobel writing in on a weekly segment if all things go right.
Paul's blog place.
Yeah, it'll
Oh,
be
man.
Paul's
All of
Corner.
Paul's writings, whatever the fuck comes to your mind, you put that shit on there and you fucking show the world.
I want to read about goddamn Ewoks on Cat.
I'm gonna write about Turkey.
The fucking Ewok
unifying the
sex
Ottoman
trafficking
Empire
ring.
and overthrowing the world.
Well, gents, it's time for the final segment of our show. Fuck, marry, kill.
I
And Paul,
can't.
you will be choosing our panel of
Oh.
victims.
This is tough.
Wicked
all right.
Warwick.
I'm gonna go. I was trying to go with classic TV shows, and I didn't want to do the Golden Girls. I feel like we've overdone that. I was trying to think of like Family Matters characters, and I can't remember their damn names. So I'm gonna think of Married with Children. All right.
Oh,
Peg
yes.
Bundy. You got Kelly Bundy, and you got the nosy neighbor next door.
Oh, yes. 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 Oh, God.
If we're gonna
Paul,
go
who do you want to go
with
first?
sitcoms from that time, I'm happy that you chose that show because I'm actually related to the nanny. So you had me nervous for a second.
Wait, that could even
You had me really nervous.
He was sweating.
Are you? Wait, you mean Fran
no,
Drescher?
Fran Drescher is the cousin of my grandmother.
Oh, perfect. We're doing that. We're definitely
all right.
Greg has to fuck his friend.
I fucked myself again.
You can't pick yourself every time.
I want to see what kind of weird spawn comes out of that.
I don't want to do this one.
It's just diarrhea.
I already know that Fran Drescher is going to be the one that gets fucked by everybody.
If I may, Fran Drescher, Peg, Bundy, and Bud.
God. Fucking Bud. I can't marry and or kill a blood relative.
Oh, I'm sorry. Paul, who would you like to go first?
I mean, I disagree. I think it's open game. We're meat sacks, buddy. I thought you knew all that.
How about our guest goes first?
Oh, yes. Yes, Joe, please.
Who are the three again?
Fran Drescher from the hit 90s TV show The Nanny, Peg Bundy from Married with Children, and Bud Bundy from Married with Children, the son of Peggy and Al.
Fuck. All right. I'd fuck the nanny, kill Ted, and marry the other chick.
Fucking poor Ted wasn't even part of this.
Ted Bundy. The Freudian slip, Joe. What kind of weird shit are you into?
It is what it is.
Something tells me
I don't change my answer. Fuck you.
Joe has some weird fetishes. I'm gonna find all the killers, and I'm gonna fuck them.
By the way, Joe, his name was Al Bundy.
Whatever.
There's some guy named Ted in a plastic vat of acid dissolving in a warehouse somewhere. That's all I know.
I could have heard it. I could have swore I heard Ted, but whatever.
When he died, he was happy. His ass was prolapsed. All right, Paul, who goes next?
It's time, Greg.
It's not Gregory. Nope. Yep. It's Cab or it's fucking Paul. Somebody else is going. Let me just
Cab
go ahead and
already
hear that
went.
everybody's gonna. Did he?
Right. I will go next. All right. I am killing Bud Bundy. I am fucking Fran Drescher, but with the caveat that she's got to be doing the annoying laugh and saying Greg's name the entire time. Gregory! And I'm marrying Peg Bundy because, I mean, Katie Seagal's a national treasure. I can just imagine our beautiful children someday.
Like Bud and Kelly.
All right.
I just want to say that I had a huge crush on Kelly when I was younger.
Who didn't? Oh God, yeah, yeah. Beautiful lady, beautiful.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna kill Bud. I'm gonna do the same.
Yeah,
Mary
yeah.
Peg. It's just she's so great at being a wife and ruining life that I can't pass that up.
The woman had an insatiable sex drive. I don't know what's wrong with that. I would take that in a heartbeat.
I think there's some really good studies that can be done where they talk about how pornography rewires your brain and just kind of jacks stuff up so you can't be as active. I think that's really what Al was suffering from. I mean, I think he had that was it jugs or biggins under the cushion all the time.
Yeah,
I think the man was just living out of his lap and not enjoying what he had in front of him. And
right next to him, look at that.
Pretty sure his son Jackson will lead that motorcycle gang to success, and Ron Perlman's going to kill his ass and take over the club.
All right, Gregory, take us
I
home.
won't do this.
Oh, you're gonna.
He wants to.
I don't
That's
have any
the
other
hard part
option
for
but
him.
to just. God damn it! I have to kill her. I have to. Like y'all are gonna make me fucking. What the fuck? I mean,
she's always gonna
most
make
of my
the list
family's
every
fucked
week
up
now.
anyway. So yeah, she's gone. She's gone. Which means I'm either gonna marry or I'm fucking Bud. Which is
It's
just
2021.
I'm just
You
gonna
be
fuck
you.
him. I'm just gonna fuck him. We're just gonna get it over with,
Hey,
and then we're on to Peg, and we're on to great things.
there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Security Halt podcast is proudly sponsored
Worst
by Hunter
fucking
Performance Automotive,
Mary kill ever.
located in Northern Colorado. They do everything from suspensions, turbo kits, superchargers, to full-on engine swaps. Hit them up today and tell them Greg's mom sent you. Call 970-396-1081. Are you tired of subpar patches? Do you want quality leather goods? Well, your search is over. Grab your phone right now, go to Instagram, and look up Hammer 41 Leatherworks. Check out what my man Merrill is making out of the comforts of his own home. He's making leather patches that are amazing. They smell like fine leather goods. Greg keeps 2 of them firmly pasted onto his nipples for comfort. And if you want to do a custom order, hit him up at hammer41leatherworks@gmail.com today. Lastly, but certainly not least, if you live in Northwest Florida and you're looking for custom artisanal woodwork, look no further than By a Warrior's Hands. It's the only custom woodworking artist that you need. Chris has an impressive resume and catalog of completed work that is sure to take your breath away. And I know what you're thinking, Denny, how do I find his stuff? Well, I'll tell you right now. Get on your phone, get on Instagram, and look up By a Warrior's Hands, at By a Warrior's Hands, and see what my man's got for you. He's got tons of great stuff, mostly affordable. Some things are very, very expensive. He did a full-size replica of Greg's mom. That is very expensive.
I was gonna say Fran Drescher, but
Priceless.
You can reach Chris also at
already setting it up.
864-986-8495. I'm sorry, 864-986-9584. Reading is hard. Also,
no dick pics.
And
sorry, Chris.
finally, from our last sponsor, do you love horses? I mean, really, really love horses. Check out Bad Dragon at www.baddragon.com.
Wolf pussy.
Oh.
anyone out there wants to be a guest or wants to share their story or just wants to talk to Greg or myself or Paul, head on over to your Google machine and go to your email and type in sechaltpodcast@gmail.com and send us all the things you want to talk about and we'll have you on. Warning, do not send dick pics.
Warning, this podcast will
all
haunt
of
your
them.
future political career.
Joe, I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on and sharing your story. A lot of us struggle with things, and we don't really have an idea of what we can use that's readily available to all of us for coping skills. And writing is one of those things. A lot of people are scared to be artistic, and perhaps are scared of drawing or painting, but we can all write, and we can all sit down and get our thoughts on paper, and it really is a freeing thing. So thanks again for coming on and sharing your story. Any last thoughts before we sign off, gents?
No,
Yes.
thanks for having me on the show.
Always.
Yeah.
Don't
Greg?
leave yet, Joe.
Oh shit.
All right. I just had one thing because
Say it.
you made mention of it, and I just want to tell you that it's a myth. In the 82nd, we don't have fucking aid stations that we're aware of.
We do. You just can't go to them.
Leave show!